Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 85. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined live in studio by the one, the only, the Tyler.
Hey, Scotty, how's it going?
It's going great. I don't know how to quite introduce you anymore since we've kind of merged a little bit. I guess
Yeah.
it kind of became a merge.
Yeah. We brought a few of the big hitters over.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
see if we can help us out in the long run.
Elle got
I
really
still
full all
don't
of a
have
sudden.
only one account there in the House of L, but I'm trying to.
Squeeze it in somewhere.
Yeah, the other two are over in a clan called the House of Elites.
How's that going over there?
It's really good. So it's a pushing clan, U.S. based. They have 50 out of 50 members, and we are. You look on the top clans in the US, we're sitting number 11 right now.
Ooh.
So a lot of really good attackers, and I'm learning lots. And
House of L's
uh,
not too far behind that.
no, we were seeing the stats the other day. I was like, "Woo!"
Yeah, like
Was that?
when you guys so this was like probably right at the end of CWL, you had sent a message that said that people were looking, right? Or it was like a
Yeah,
message like, hey, would we have room?
yeah,
And so uh we kind of all responded in the leadership chat, and then everybody started filling in. And it was like normally at the end of CWL, we get filled up. Like people are kind of moving around and like coming back and stuff like that. But this was like over. This was like filled. Like we really got to move people and just move people that maybe aren't warring, because everybody
yeah,
that's there wants to war. And so um it was kind of crazy. So those guys we kind of get things moved around a little bit. And then I am sitting there looking, I'm like, God, we must be somewhere. Like we must be pushing up there with all these new people. And I go look, and we were at like 68 at the time. And it kind of seems like we're hitting around 75, 60, somewhere in there. But
I think right now we're sitting at 76. So yeah,
wow, it's kind of crazy. And without even, well, I guess we're all kind of pushing. I mean, for the most part.
not not really though. It's kind of crazy because we only have 18 guys in Legends,
Oh.
and then
I suppose you
the
can't
rest
really be
are.
pushing if you're not. Can you be pushing if you're not
Yeah.
in Legends?
So it's kind of weird because your trophies are like 5,000s and 4,000s when you're in Legends, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not in Legends, it bases it off of how many trophies you have in that league. So like the first person not in Legends is Muir, and Muir has 982 trophies. So that's like a
Wow. That's what
four
those are.
thousand trophy difference. Where if I go over to the House of Elites real quick, like all 50 out of 50 accounts are in Legends. Nope, 49 out of 50 are in Legends.
Wow.
So that's where that huge difference comes from, is like you to be, way up there, you got to have, because you're losing 4,000 trophies for every person that's not, at least
Yeah.
4,900 trophies that's not in Legends. So,
Well, so we had all
but
Legends
I mean,
players.
for only 18 people in Legends, we're doing really good.
I wonder if they weigh. No, they couldn't, right? It's just a total. Must just be,
Yeah.
they wouldn't weight it at all.
No, I don't think so anyway.
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy and cool to see all these new people coming into L, which kind of, we're kind of having to move, like I said, kind of like some non-warriors or people who are maybe sitting out over in L2 uh, for a while. But I think it kind of just eventually just be you know, oh, I'm gonna go sit, so I'll go over there. And I mean, if people want a war and really get into the war, uh,
Yeah.
might as well, I guess.
I'm I'm excited. We've been running what 45
Yeah.
people in war, and so it's cool to get that many people interested in war and going. Um, and yeah, hopefully we can just keep pushing and
Was everybody coming
make.
from the same place?
Yeah, so we all came over from a bunch of guys came over from the original CQ group. So it's a bunch of original CQ guys. When we merged with Pushing Force, uh, we immediately went up to Champs 2 like we'd wanted to with that group. That's what was kind of our original merger idea, was to go up to help them get to Champs 2. We did that. We stayed there for a few months. Then we dropped, and the leader of that clan left. He's like, I'm gonna spread my wings, go try something else. Try a Champs 1 clan. Good luck to you guys. So me and Drew kind of took
Abandon
over
ship.
as, yeah, exactly. So me and Drew kind of took over as like, okay, well, I guess we'll run, you know, the rosters and run the wars and whatever. And it was kind of just a weird dynamic because we had like 3 or 4 of our CQ guys as leaders. They had, 4 or 5 of their pushing force guys as leaders. The chat sometimes would like go off, and then sometimes it'd just be crickets. And then during CWL, it was always like we made the roster based off hit rates, and then we sent people to CQ2 that didn't make the top 18. Well, over the last like 3 months, we just started like losing a few guys here and there, like 2 or 3, 1 month, 2 or 3 the next month. And then CQ2 is just rough. They've been really struggling. Um, and to get people there, or they've had people that are there that are not happy they're there, during CWL.
Yeah.
It just kind of turned into there was some drama the 1 month because some people didn't hit one time, and then they got kicked, and then they weren't invited back to do the rest of their hits. So it was just kind of all, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
escalating. The writing was kind of on the wall. Um, a lot of the pushing force, like CWL, was made up of CQ guys, like probably 10 out of or 12 out of the 18. This last month it was 10 out of the 16 guys were original CQ members. So it was like CQ was doing all the work, and then the pushing force guys that were there that we kind of moved over to be with kind of left.
yeah.
So it was just kind of getting weird. Um,
Well,
I had been invited to this House of Elites for a minute, for a few months now, and I wanted to go check it out. So I honestly just said, "Hey, it'll probably be my last CWL unless we can promote." Like thinking we weren't going to promote, just like as an ultimatum kind of thing.
yeah.
And we were in second the whole month. Um, the first 4 wars, there was another clan that was just killing it, and then they ended up losing their last 3 wars, and
Wow.
we beat them, and we ended up winning the whole thing. But in the midst of that, there was a little bit of drama, and people weren't happy. So that's when I reached out and was like, "Hey, can some of the CQ guys come over?"
Yeah.
And that's Drew and Inspector, Savage. Like these are all just original CQ guys
Yeah.
that are
I was
that are
thinking
good
about that. I'm
hitters.
like, I better check with Tyler, who's all like from there, because people might have just slid in, and I'm thinking they're like crew, but
Yeah, so I got Inspector, Boats, Drew,
Savage.
Savage. Savage is funny. He will always hit super late, so don't stress about him. He'll do it. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know if he likes the pressure or what the deal is, but he'll always do it there. General, Reza, Vinny actually is a pushing force guy.
I suppose I can pull up my phone here.
Um, Fish, Fishman.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's
it
cool.
good group of guys that came over, and hopefully they can hold their own and hold up with the L guys. And
Oh, yeah, the wars are just perfecting the wars, and I don't know if that comes with the balance update, but, there was a little bit of not there was no drama or anything, but there was just, like, I think, like, maybe this is something that was kinda happening overall or, like, in other places, like, as time goes by, you kinda lose a couple members, and, like, a couple of our members wanted a little bit less casual,
yeah,
with, like especially with, like, CWL, maybe just kinda felt like a different pressure or something, so they went to L2, and one was kinda stepping back for just a little bit, and so it was kind of, uh, like, the perfect timing to get new people to kinda come in, and it's just kinda crazy kinda how it goes from, like, the the normal everyday to now we're filled and, uh everything's a little bit different because 'cause we've got more FCs, more just the rhythm of the day kinda changes up, which is pretty cool
yeah.
to see.
No, I think it's been like a good little dynamic. I think it'll push us to be a little bit better and overall. And I was gonna talk to you just on the side, but like it'd be interesting if we should run a 30 this month or a 15. We'll just
Yeah,
have to look at
I was gonna
stats, I
talk to
guess, down
you
the road.
I was gonna talk to you about that too and see if
Yeah,
you maybe wanted to do the war uh, generaling, and I could collect everybody and move people and do that kinda stuff because 'cause I'm always
yeah.
afraid of pushing the wrong button and, oh, I'm always doing something during CWL to do something,
Well,
but
that's another thing. Like, I ended up spinning without somebody pushing for us on accident, and
oh,
we only had 15, and luckily I had left somebody that wasn't supposed to be in there on, like, they were way down in trophy, so I didn't notice him, and so we had 16, but he was red and, like, not very active. Well, he ended up coming in clutch for us because one of the pushing force guys, like, left after the second day when he had 1 starred, and then he didn't come back, and we were like, "Oh, no." So he didn't hit in the War 3, and we were, like, begging this other guy, "Come on, please just
sweet.
get us a 2-star at least," you know? And he
Yeah,
ended up coming in clutch the last of the war and did really well. I ended up giving him one of my bonuses from my 1 of 2 counts because 'cause I'm like, "You saved the whole CWL for us."
that's awesome.
Um, and he like, if I didn't leave him on there, we would've been really screwed. But the over in CQ2, the the guy down there that was running things ran a 30 war and spun with a bunch of people on
Oh,
accident that didn't know were like that he didn't, I guess, sorry, didn't did it. Like they weren't well known, they weren't part of the clan for a while, like they because they'd left the clan open for a minute.
oh,
So
yeah,
they had a nightmare CWL where people left and didn't attack and they didn't know who they were, they couldn't get a hold of them. So it was like
I was
it all kind of just ended kind of sour, but we moved on. It's all right.
and ours was I was a little nervous doing the 18 after we started it, uh, because we were going perfect and we weren't having the
Yeah, with
3
these
lowers.
balances, right?
Yeah.
Like the balances kind of threw things off. I feel like in a normal CWL, it would have been okay, but how like
Oh,
I don't want to say how easy it is, but like it seems like it was a lot easier of a CWL to go perfect, and we did a lot, and so it was hard to get people in at first. But
yeah,
you and War Pig sitting out, that one war was awesome. Ended up sitting out a war.
and then it seemed to
um,
work out after that. Like,
yeah, like everybody got their 8 stars. Like
yeah.
everybody got their turn. I'm actually doing stats right now of like hit rates from CWL, and it seems like the guys that would have ended up in most of the wars were there anyway. So I think it all worked out.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, in the end, it went, uh, Supercell.
It,
So,
it's it's been interesting for sure.
yeah, so January was a busy month, and I got kind of sick twice. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on. I couldn't. It was hard to plan because the first time I was kind of coming down with it, and then it was gone away, and then I couldn't talk really. So,
Mm.
which might have been for the best, to be quite honest, because I was really not happy with the balance update when it came. And,
What were you not happy about?
I'm not even,
Tell us how you really feel.
well, that's the issue is I wasn't quite sure what I was mad about, right? Be, I live in Minnesota. Things have been really frustrating around here. So,
Yeah.
in a time of craziness, all of a sudden, and here I am, and I think on like the last podcast, I'm like, I think things are right where I was like living my best Clash life, like pre-update. Like I like this. 3 stars are really hard to get. Like you're playing
Yeah.
for every inch. I was really like feeling it, and then all this stuff kind of the update happens, and it just felt like it went upside down. And I don't know if like it really did, or like if I was going insane a little bit too, because I was like what's the perception here? Because it was like this whole thing was like all of a sudden it was just different. It just felt completely different. And then War Pig was out um slaughtering mountains, climbing mountains and stuff.
Climbing mountains.
And he came back and he said, "Wow, I'm gone for 4 days and I came back and it feels like a whole different game." And so I was like, okay, that's not me then. Like
Yeah.
this is like something more, and you hear people talking about it. But then you also hear people going like in the clan saying, "This is awesome. I can finally, I had a great plus 300 day." But
Yeah.
then but they're also getting hit for 300, at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you're not using the right defense.
yeah. And so it's like it just was a complete shift. So like in that 3-star game, right? The mistakes seem a little bit bigger. Like a 1-star is going to be if everybody just can 3-star you and or whatnot. But I mean, so it took a little bit, and then we were in CWL, and by the end of CWL, something had seemed to kind of happen where bases started to adjust. Like if you looked at the wars, probably the early
Mhm.
wars versus the end wars, um,
I think everybody started to kind of adjust.
yeah, but none of the game changes, and who knows if even some of the bases change, right? Because I use my base throughout, but it was kind of interesting how that kind of works.
Mhm.
So now, I don't know. I probably would have kind of negative. I did go then, and I listened to the other podcasts and all the things that they were talking about and hearing their perspective, and then I calmed down a little bit because kind of brought me back to reality of like of the place and kind of maybe where it's appealing now to both players, but I
Yeah.
I prefer pre-balance.
So it was interesting because I looked at oh, I didn't look, but I was watching a video one time on YouTube of Einstein, and they were complaining like in the chat because he was doing his live video, and he plays for if you don't know Einstein, he plays
Oh,
for
I thought you were talking about Albert Einstein there
Repotted.
for a second.
He kind of is with attacking. Repotted Gaming. He with the they didn't win this last year, but they won 2 years ago. World Championship. Um, he's a German player, but he speaks English. He was talking because everybody was complaining. He's like, guys, they don't. Somebody said like, well, can't they just like AI figure this out? Like, can't they run all these different scenarios where people are going to try these armies? Because I'm sure when they buffed the life gem and they buffed, you know, the throwers, they didn't think this was gonna overtake the game. Like, they just thought, "Nobody's using throwers, so let's buff them a little bit and see if that helps." Um, and then somebody found the one tile spam, throw everything down and 15 throwers and a bunch of healers in your warden. And now it seems like everybody's just using throwers because they're really good. But and they were complaining, they're like, "Well, can't they just run this?" And he said, "They can't, predict every little
Yeah.
thing that people do. Um, they they don't know." So then I saw an Itzu video. He just recently did it. It was talking about how the hit rates in January. So this video that he did was just a day ago. He was talking about the hit rates in January compared to the hit rates in February, and like the stats, and it's not that different. Like the percentages went up a little bit, but it kind of all buffed out eventually. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the wave of the throwers came about and everybody's bases were set up for anti-meteor golem because that was the meta for a long time
Yeah.
since Town Hall 18. And then throwers are just a little bit, different than meteor golem, so everybody was like crushing it. But now I think everybody's finally starting to adjust and it's kind of coming around where I've been watching a lot of videos of people are going back to Fireball because
Everything's
a lot of
designed for.
everything's designed for throwers, and you can still use fireball throwers. Like I've been watching Destro on YouTube, and he's been killing it because everybody's starting to use these double rage bases because throwers kind of struggle with those, and like a lot of things are clumped up. So he started using the fireball, and then that was like that's been doing really well. So I think like you just got to give it some time,
Yeah.
and it'll buff out. Like everybody takes advantage of it because it's so broken. But eventually, the base builders figure it out, and eventually people start figuring out how to go around, or stop whatever's happening.
I think in the
Um,
end that here's where I've come down on it. I've made peace, but Supercell, you absolutely should never introduce an update or a balance change on the first of the month or right before CWL. All of
yeah,
those things should be done post CWL every month, period. And I think that is the part of it that really got me
yeah,
because not only that, right? So, like, we go into CWL, everything's kind of up in the air, and you kind of you go on a run, you work with your clan for months, and you're kind of on this roll. But I bought bases,
yeah,
and now all these bases come out on the first of the month. We have no idea, like, are these designed for the meta? They, all this stuff. The competition has to be protected. The competition, everything should be at least test drove in the wild for 1 week before CWL. So that way, base builders get a chance to look at things. Anything that was just completely broken can get fixed. And then that way, when we're in CWL, we know we can go in prepared. But
yeah. I totally agree. Like you can't everything like that changes the dynamic of the game shouldn't be done until the 10th of the month because then CWL is over.
yeah, it's like this,
Like
you're
no
preparing for
updates, no
this.
new troops, new spells, no like just leave that till the 10th and then that doesn't screw up CWL.
Yeah, like we are going to give you the month to, or like the 2 weeks or at least 2 weeks, preferably three, like, because it's at the end of CWL, everybody's burnt out anyways, or like you've kind of, I don't know, I kind of feel like people are kind of ready for a change and something. Like, time your stuff throughout the month so that way it's like season and skins. before CWL, updates
Yeah.
or whatever mid-month, then we get to like play with it and have exciting things early on. But I feel like I think it was the RTC podcast, or I think it was that pocket. They were talking about it, but that this happens. I think like half of CWLs throughout the time, and I think my frustration in building bases and supporting other clashes that way is that like there's only really been it's like the you get the month where it comes out, it's kind of a wash because you're adjusting. The next month you get a base pack that's like, okay, these are they can finally design for them. And then the third month, it kind of seems like it's kind of you're ready for new things. So
Hmm.
like I don't know, I'm starting to feel like in base buying, it almost is I, I don't know how much it's worth it if it's a
Yeah.
liability in some ways. I don't know. What do you think?
I've always wondered that. Like, I really appreciate, you doing that for us, but like, I think I saw a tweet because I get a lot of my stuff just off Twitter and X, like bases, just follow a few builders and, good high push legend players. And somebody said, I feel sorry for anybody that purchased a base pack this month for CWL.
Yeah.
Like, it was a wash of a CWL. Like, you you couldn't stop it. Like, when you can just spam that many troops down in one spot, it's hard to stop anything like that.
Yeah, it was just too much of a change in before it.
Mhm.
So I think outside of that, when something's annoying, like let's say thrower armies, like I don't usually get kind of annoyed by armies, and I didn't really care that much about like being 3-starred. It's just like I like the rhythm of playing for the inches in, instead of that third star. Um, but when you get to those, I guess like it's listening to them, I realized I think it happened in I want to say it was like the WWE season. I was thinking, hey, this I think it happened in July. I think it happened in this thing. And so I don't know. But you can get them online and it's something to think about, I guess. Like it's not like the expense of it, but like even after a couple days Warpig said I'm going to change this out. And it's like, well, if it's not working, then, or, how do we know if it's not working in those instances anymore? Because it's either the new meta or it's a bad base and you can't tell. Right.
Yeah. I think after, like, my motto has kind of always been like, after, if you watch it and it just gets crushed in like two rows and wars in a row, then like switch it out. But if it's
That's kind of a lot
like,
of a liability. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
For
yeah,
like the
if
CWL
it's,
basis, because we're going in going, all right, we got them. They say they're going to work, but we haven't, we're just really trusting that those will for those first 2 days, and when a
yeah,
new meta comes out or something like that, it's like, well, we're really just say it- we're really out of control because we don't know if it's the base or if it's the meta or if it's maybe just the CC troops. So
hmm,
I don't know. I think I do. I think like holding it until the post CWL every month.
just hold it all the way through.
Yeah. Same like they did that during Worlds or whatever, right? Where you could use this or not this, and it just was too much in that short period of time. And why not like tiny little adjustments? Why not like a 2% or just a 1%? Like baby steps
Yeah.
sometimes. But like,
Sometimes it seems like they go overboard with a lot of things.
yeah, the RTC guys were talking about it and saying that that they must have seen something like in the numbers or seen something like to try to bring
I
people back.
almost, yeah, well, I almost think like they try to they're trying to make the game like more, what do you say? More interesting for not just one type of player. And I
Yeah,
think like if you look at the game, nobody wants to just keep playing the game like forever playing one playing style. Like that would be nice, but I feel like everybody kind of tries to explore things.
yeah. Try to
And like you I think they're trying to do that almost too much. Like they're trying to switch things up so much and too often that it doesn't it makes some people really happy,
kinda high
you know.
risk, high
I
reward.
don't I don't know what the percentage of players it is, but it makes a lot of players happy that, they finally switched away from meteor golems. But then it makes a lot of other players mad because it became too easy of a game. Like I saw a lot of pro players say, "Oh, here we go again with the Root Rider."
Yeah,
Kind of same thing when Root Riders just were dominating for months and months and months, and everybody was just putting up 320, 320. Like, but it kind of buffed its way out. Like the builders changed.
yeah.
Um, I think it's cool because there's different attack styles. Like we had a guy Reza who came over to the House of L with us. He was using the lava loon puppet. Like
I saw
I didn't I didn't really pay attention until like the fourth or fifth war when he was going perfect, and I'm like, I'm gonna see what Rez is using. And I pop in and watch his replay. I was like, what? You're using the lava loon puppet? Like who uses that thing? But he was doing it. Like he had a Dragon Riders, a little RC intro, um, the lava loon puppet, and like he went 7 for 7 during CWL. And he was only, he was one of in our clan during
it.
pushing force, he was one of two people that went perfect.
Wow. That's the
So
thing.
I think
Those metas are
I
out there,
think
or, like, new attacks are out there
yeah,
too.
yeah. Like if you look at your log of legends, there is just a lot of thrower, 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 thrower. But if you look through the war attacks, like I think there's a little bit more variety. Like meteor golems, fireball, dragons, dragon riders, um,
Yeah,
there's a little bit more variety in the game, which is cool. I think too that it might have been frustrating in our CWL. Um, like I just mentioned, we only had two guys go perfect in pushing force, which was champs 3,
oh,
and we won champs 3.
okay.
Where in masters 1 in House of L, we had one, two, three, four, five, 6 guys go perfect.
Yeah,
And so and and it was 1% away from another guy going perfect. So I think that the just the variety of bases that you see and then the competition level. Like
yeah,
if I go and look at the round scores for our champs, I think that team that kind of just crushed us in the House of L during CWL, like they were crushing everybody else. I think that's was just a clan that caught on really well to the thrower spam, and they must have just they killed everybody on offense.
I think that
Like
was I think it was
we beat them,
yeah, course.
and their defenses weren't great. Like their defenses weren't great. They were just winning all their wars offensively because they were putting up high 40s almost every round.
They had the consistency of multiple fewer players and multiple accounts to me.
Mm,
Like,
okay, so it was like probably like 6 or 7 guys with 2 accounts or something.
yeah, maybe, like, it it just seemed every so often you kind of to feel that, or even maybe in how
Or
they,
were
like, attack if they're, like, going through them, one by one or whatever, but for 15 people to go to be excellent at one attack is much. like
Yeah.
right off the bat, you know? Like,
I've always thought that about 30, 30 CWOs versus 15 CWOs. Like the liability of 30 people, you know, versus the liability of only 15. Just like
yeah.
you said, like the liability of only 6 or 7 guys that have multiple accounts that are good attackers versus 15, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, then the other end of that too is that way it is harder for multiple a person with like 5 18s or whatever is gonna maybe have a little bit less impact. But I do think we should do a 30 this next one. I mean, we have the people for it, I think.
Yeah, I think we look at the numbers and the hit rates and see where we're at, like towards the end of the month. But I think it's possible to do the 30. So my question was, if you win a 30, then you get promoted to champs still, right?
Yep.
You just
Yeah.
can't run a 30 in champs.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because that
Yeah.
was my first 30 last month or 2 months ago when we did that. I've never done one before that.
Yeah,
So,
and with the people in L, we know the track records of them. You know, like
oh
these are
yeah.
people who don't miss attacks. It's not like we really have
Hmm.
to worry, um, unless
Yeah.
for the random thing, uh, or
Yeah, I
whatnot.
know like Charlie missed last month and he was real like I DM'd him and kept messaging him and he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry, I forgot." But he still
Uh,
went 5 for 6, like or
yeah,
5 for 5. He missed the one more, but he went 5 for 5 and the attacks that he did it hit. So,
and last seed, I don't know. I felt like this is all gonna wash out anyways, probably unless we take that top one and it was just like I don't know. I was just like, whatever, about CWL. Like, I felt like I really wish we would know how these clans would have stacked up beforehand.
I didn't really think that until the end when you said it. Like, I wonder how if we didn't have the balance changes, how this would have played out. I thought to myself, that is an interesting thing. Like, because I think it took some clans, like you said, a little bit longer to catch up, and by the end of the CWL, it seems like everybody had kind of adjusted
Even
offensively and defensively.
yeah, I mean, even 1 or 2 stars, and that's really what we were talking about the whole time.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, and that's just with the bases. And so I didn't really care. I keep I think like let, champs will still be there. We'll get there next month when we can
oh yeah.
even playing field or whatever. Like lay the but yeah. So hopefully if they just did it after the
It'll be
15th.
interesting to see what they come up with this update. I originally thought it was going to come out tomorrow,
I
but
saw
it
that you were
sounds like
talking about that. I
yeah.
and so I panic pre-bought a pack of like a building and everything, uh,
Oh geez,
but I'm
sorry.
like, but then I think was it you that said somebody said about sneak peeks, or maybe it was on one of
Yeah,
the,
no, it was me that said we didn't see any sneak peeks today or yesterday, so it won't. It's not going to be tomorrow.
and usually like, so, I don't go like looking for leaks or anything like that. And I don't really see them, but like on TikTok, people will share update things. And sometimes they must be coming out right at, they must be coming from a streamer or like, one of those things. Cause they're usually pretty consistent, but it looks like we will be getting a Inferno. It looked like the CC. That's what
Mortars.
Terminator,
Mm, I didn't see CC because we just got CC when for Town Hall 18, so I
or
wouldn't
was
think
it
we'd get
Army
another
Camp? He
update
said
like
Army Camp.
that.
I thought, okay, let me just see what I just watched a couple of his things today. Um, so Inferno, Tesla. He said there was something with the Army Camp. Uh, I can't remember some new wall things too. Like they're reworking the wall.
Looks like the walls just maybe got a different look because everybody's complaining about them, so
Yeah,
they kind of look different. I think they look better now, like this picture.
yeah,
Um, so when you're talking about leaks, like I used to kind of look around for leaks, and you could always find them on Reddit, but I think they kind of shut down the
yeah.
leaks on Reddit.
I
Like
guess
you get,
and I mean to say like this isn't a leak or anything. This is like
yeah,
stuff that is out there like from content creators like on the internet
content creators. Yeah.
and uh and Terminator was saying that too. Like last year there were like two updates around this time, and so I would bet that it would be next week. But
Well, yeah, I would think so too. They had their so with the February calendar, they had a big question mark on there. It was like, what's this going to be? And then when they put out this most recent little intro video of this new event that's coming out where you can earn a book of troops,
oh yeah,
a book of fighting. That's
yeah,
when that's where everybody's getting all these pictures from is because Supercell actually did it, not like anybody actually leaking it. Because sometimes
oh
they do
yeah,
like
yeah,
the accidental leak, and you
yeah.
can see a new level of Mortar, a new level of Tesla.
Yeah, like Terminator,
Ace,
he's like taking the screenshots and he's like
yeah,
analyzing them from ringing out every clue. He's like, "Well, I
yeah,
don't see anything here in the clan chat that, there's not like a new icon or," which is pretty cool to do.
and then like you can go look at the defenses themselves, and they tell you that the supercharge is ending soon or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yep, yep.
Ace, Ace did a video on that on YouTube of like he went clicked on each defense and was like, well, this one says this is ending soon, so it's got to be this. The supercharge is ending soon,
Yeah.
so it's got to be coming up pretty quick. Where this building doesn't have that timer, so it's.
And I'm guessing we're gonna get some new troop levels. It looked like what I've consistently seen was the ice golem.
Mm.
Um, Well, maybe not. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the TikToks have shown me every troop. um,
I think loons is what
yeah,
I've kind of seen
yep.
and
I
heard.
saw the loon. So these are what I saw on TikTok. First, I thought a root rider. Uh,
Mm.
I thought,
Which would just kind of totally change things, right? Because they haven't gotten updates since 20 or since Town Hall 16 because they were
oh
so
yeah,
dominant at 16 and still good at 17 that nobody, we didn't need an update. But now at 18, where the Town Hall's not a defense and the defenses have all gotten multiple levels since its last update, like I think Roots would be cool. Might kind of bring back
so some good
a
meta that
different,
people were used to too.
yeah, yeah. And it's an interesting troop because it was so dominant because of it targeted defenses, but now with the Town Hall not being a defense, I mean,
I think there's something
it
bigger coming.
changes the game.
I think there's a game changing thing coming. Not maybe
I
it's
think
not
so.
super major, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
they like move the town hall back or something to like a defensive.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. Just from I'm reading into other people's conversations on podcasts, I guess a little bit. Uh,
yeah.
and what were the other things? Now I'm blanking on them. Nothing for sure without the sneak peeks, but seems like it'll be a big change. And there were a couple bigger changes, I think, last year at this time. And this was right before I think it was the Gear Up season, and it was right before WWE, and so
Mhm.
so I wouldn't be surprised to see some different mechanics kind of move into the game or something, even a new defense or something. I don't know, but
Yeah. I liked that WWE thing, but it's interesting to see because it seems like with how they've changed the modifiers and then the games type, like how you can't use uh event troops and legends.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they wouldn't put that army camp thing back in to legend. Like, it would just be a regular battle mode instead of ranked mode hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how your troops automatically show up in battle attacks, but not in ranked attacks. I think that same kind of thing if they were to do something like defensive troops or so. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Um,
I wonder if they want. I that'd be a good way to. I don't want to say balance anything because I'm like, wow, that'd be kind of moving things around. What do you think about like for regular war switching, having like a multiplier or like a what if there was like different war leagues you were in, like normal
I
legend wars?
I I think that's great. I think that should have been invented a while back. Um, I know they've been working a lot on other things, but I think Shock had mentioned this a long time ago, clear back when roots were a problem of just perfect wars. Like now, how often do you see a perfect draw? Whereas if you, I mean, you get to select how many people are in your war. Why can't you just select, hey, I want legends modifiers for my war,
Yeah.
or I want, esports modifiers for my wars? You've got to be able to match up with somebody. And, after, if it just spins for a long time and nobody wants to do that, then you go back to a regular style if nobody else is wanting to match up with a Legends modifier or whatever. But I feel like the matchmaking is pretty quick on the wars to
Yeah.
where if you did add in some modifiers, I think people would be in for let's try uh let's try it out kind of thing.
Be kind of cool to do. You do CWL. At the end of CWL, you get placed into a league based on, so champs leagues
Mm.
and
It's like on your
masters.
ranking.
Yeah. And then for the rest of the month, you play within that league. And instead of, and it's like a assist, so all the winners play the winners. And then, you
Yeah,
go up through the rest of the month after
I
that.
like that. That would be cool.
I just feel like those moving
Kind of
into the,
like how they do ranked mode right now.
yeah,
You just do it
yeah.
for clans.
And it seems like with that ranked mode, some of those other pieces of the game, like CWL even and war, it's like that part of it changed into a kind of a newer format. And I feel like that could be shifted out across. Like, maybe CWL at the time was, for that tournament experience. Maybe it's just a monthly, an entire month CWL so that it was
Oh,
going
could you
on.
imagine? That would be a lot.
I mean, not like once a day, but like the
Yeah, no.
CWL became that league where you competed within that clan league throughout the entire month to advance.
Mm.
And then you would kind of keep doing that.
Top half get advanced, top bottom or whatever get relegated.
Well, like, so, okay, so war, right? And CWL kind of seems like the old ways of it kind of seems like it reflects like the old system of like kind of come in and
Mhm.
build instead of progress through like the ranked system. I don't know, maybe I'm just like overthinking it, but maybe it's maybe it's just rethinking like what the original functions were for it and then if we could do it a different way because maybe CW is just too intense, but like a month long thing. I think that'd be fun to be like making sure that we're on every war, like throughout the month. Not like every day, but like the regular wars.
Yeah.
Make them mean something a little bit more.
I do think, like, there has to be something done because I think a lot of people are getting tired of just repetitive perfect wars to where people are starting to lose like a little bit of interest. Um,
You need some
I know in
buzzer
that
beaters.
House of Elites that I'm in, like we were running a 45-45 and we were perfect before the halfway mark. I think there was still like 18 hours left, so it's only 6 hours into war. Like, and then there was a bunch of people in the chat like, "Well, do I even hit, or
Yeah.
what do we do?" And then they were like, "Yeah, you still hit because we're looking off of hit rates for CWL rosters, so make sure you're still putting in your full effort." But I think a lot of people are like, kind of, "Well, it's whatever because I don't have to."
Yeah. Yeah, that's
What's the point when it's already perfect, kind of thing.
I said that in chat the other or a couple of days ago. I should put that out there again. Just because like you don't know if people are missing, like just not showing up, or if they're the one thing I have been able to tell is like if you haven't logged on in 2 days and you didn't do your war hit and we were perfect, I know you didn't. I most likely didn't do it because you saw we were perfect.
Oh, okay.
So, but still, it's like because it was the competition to, or I guess not the competition, but to try to figure out the rosters is becoming so delicate. Like with the,
Yeah, who do you put in and who do you don't?
and then how
I
do
think,
you
can you run 50s?
know? Oh, 50-50 v50.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but we
almost.
had like 5 people that were red.
Yeah, I think there were like two or
'Cause
three, and then I thought, well, instead of putting in those few, I'll just sit one person that hadn't attacked and hadn't logged in 2 days. So
see, and I always kind of thought like because we'd run some 30s and then 40s when we were pushing force, but we didn't always have the exact number. So I would just throw in a bunch of lower town halls that I knew weren't gonna attack,
yeah, I probably would.
knowing that we can cover that.
That's what I was thinking. I would do this last time after seeing like how we just kind of cleaned it
Yeah,
up so fast that,
yeah.
and then I went in
Like
and I hit it
if
and
you
it
come
was,
in late, it's your job to
yeah.
clean up the little lower town halls. Like you're missing out on the ore because you came in late.
I've been hitting real early but
I saw you hit earlier than me, and I was like, "Whoa, God, that's unusual for
and
Scotty. He's usually kind of bringing up the rear, and he hit before me."
then I just went at the higher ones because I was like, nobody had hit them yet. So I'll just, while I'm here, just kind of,
Yeah,
because like before I'd hit one and then if I'd kind of wait to see. But yeah, it's like, oh, better get in there and um, get your, this last one though, it was 45. Uh,
okay,
45 people had opted in to do it.
yeah.
Um, how are you
And I
finding?
know, like,
Oh,
uh, I saw Brooklyn left today just to go down to L2 because he's been red for a while. So, like, if there are guys that are wanting to not be in war, not be as competitive, then I could think they could head over to L2 and just kind of farm and
well,
help out where needed over there.
I think it's just a little bit of like critical mass, right? Like, before it's like you have, and maybe this is just a temporary problem, but like before you have like just a couple people sitting red and it just kind of works out. Um, and then there's not as many people in L2 to give troops and things like that. So if we just kind of roll with it a little bit more and people kind of rotate if they're not, we can keep the bigger war sizes going.
Yeah.
How are you finding legends, by the way?
Oh, it's like an up and down. It's a wave. I have had multiple days
Emotional
now
wave.
where
Emotional wave.
yeah, I've had multiple days now where I can hit over 280, and the one day I got above 300, I hit 302. Should have been 310. I was 1%, like a half a hit
Wow.
away when the time ran out of a at a 99%. But and it's not my defense holding me back. It's my offense. Like I'll just make stupid errors and get a 1 star, or you know,
Yeah.
enter on the wrong side. But
Does
I feel
one
like
of
there's
them
a
ruin your day? One of them ruin like not
when I
like not like
when
your
I
personal
start
day,
with one, yeah,
but like your
no,
Legends day.
when I start off with one, like yesterday, the past 2 days, I've done all my hits at night, like after the kids go to bed, and the clock resets at 10 o'clock for me. So I just hop on and I hit them all just right at night. And last night I start off with 2 triples, like I was just going from my Tyler account, then to Lighty, then to Minion,
I've got
and
it.
two triples in a row. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it. I'm doing good. And then I got a 1 star.
Oh,
No, and it was a stupid like 98% 1 star too. Like the only thing that was left was the town hall. And I was really upset from coming from the backside. And then I got like 4 attacks in a row of no triples. And actually 1 starred again on that same account. So that one account was just kind of like screwed up for the day offensively.
what would
Um,
if you get screwed? What are you like losing? Like, would you lose yesterday?
um, so let's see that account where I did really bad up in. I think because my defense held really well, I don't think I lost a ton.
My
So
defense.
if I don't go like 240 right now with this new balance, I'm kind of like I feel like I didn't do very good. But my defense has been around like 220. So yesterday I only gained one on that account. Um, right now, this account that I had 2 1 stars on today, I still managed 235, and I have 3 defenses left, and I'm up 98. So I could potentially go down if I get tripled out. Could go down like 20 something trophies.
Yeah,
But I've only been tripled once defensively. So I feel like I'll probably end up pretty close to even.
okay. Yeah.
But then the days where I kill it on offense, like that day I got a 302, I went up 190 something trophies
Holy shit
because my
balls.
defense killed it and nobody, like I didn't have all 8 attacks against me. I think I only had
Oh,
6. I only had 6. I got so lucky. I was like, I just killed it that day.
I'm getting hit
Um,
hard defensively these last 2 days, and it's hard. So when CWL happened, and I don't know how it happened, but I ended up copying my base a couple times, I think.
they
And
have the same base in
yeah,
multiple slots.
and
Oh no.
and I think it was like I copied one over, and then I copied one to do the um, make one the like different, just a little bit different with the cycle defenses or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I had two bases, one's doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden it starts to give away, and then it's almost like you have to wait 2 days if your base has been doing well.
Yeah, I think that's good
For
a good
me,
buffer is 2 days.
because like the one day I might just get smashed, and then the next day it's like back to normal, or like I'll switch it out and then come back to that one, and it'll be like back to normal. Um,
Hmm.
but I think I missed the cooldown last night, so I think I might have one more day with this. But but you told me something that and I wrote this down is so I didn't forget it. About replacing things on the map without the
Yeah,
cooldown. So I always
yeah. So
knew
you can.
I knew I could switch like the air sweeper or like the directions of something,
Hmm.
but this was kind of a what did what can we move besides like switching the directions of like the air sweeper or the inferno mode
So
without
multi or
yeah
yeah.
without cooldown base cooldown.
Um. So you can move traps, no problem, anywhere you want. Traps will not affect anything. Um. but you can switch anything that has the same tile space. So let's say it is a scatter shot, 3x3, right? You can swap a scatter shot with an air defense because it's also a 3x3, as long as when you're dragging that defense to the other one, you don't accidentally put it somewhere else on the map
You need to have the
to a
fingers
new
of a
position.
surgeon.
Yes, you do. And if you make the mistake of doing that, you just push cancel. You don't hit save. Like, because if you cancel, then it doesn't affect it. So if you do accidentally do it, just hit cancel, then try again. But you can just drag the scatter shot straight over on top of the air defense. It will swap those two defenses around, and you can friendly challenge right away. The same thing. So I did that today in our friendly war, me and Warpig. The CC was in a different spot. I had the exact same base that we were doing the friendly war for double trouble event.
Yeah.
It's a 2v2 war, and I had the base, but a couple things were moved around. So then I just went and moved them to the exact spot so that I was FCing, the exact base instead of a similar base. Um, and as long as you move it to the same spot, you're good. But like it's got to be the same tiles. You can't
Yeah.
move the hero house because that one's like 5x5, isn't it?
The best
With
thing
the
to do
research.
really would be to, if you drag it, they swap it automatically.
Yeah, they do. As long as you
So
put it right on top of the other one, it swaps automatically.
so if it doesn't swap automatically, don't drop it
Yes. Yeah.
or cancel out of
Or
it.
if you do accidentally drop it or put it in the wrong spot, push cancel. But a lot of times you can just move it right on top pretty easily. But it has to be the exact same tile space. And you cannot rotate your base either, because then it's moving it to a new spot on the
Oh.
map. So the code just recognizes the spots on the map, not the actual whatever you're moving, right? So it
Yeah.
recognizes the position. If you move something one position over, so if you have your sweeper and you want to move your sweeper one position over, you can't. So you can swap heroes too, placements of the heroes. Um, they're the same tile space. You can swap a hero with a rage tower because it's the same space, 2x2 or 1x1, whatever it is.
Ah.
So yeah, that's kind of
I
a
need-
cool little thing
needed a little cheat sheet of
I
like,
learned.
yeah,
What you can, what you can't.
I did not, I didn't know that at all about the traps. And that could really make things a lot easier, life a lot
Yeah, you
easier
can
if
move
you're,
traps.
I had no idea about that.
When the throwers came out really spammy, I was doing that because like there was a lot of bases that everybody was really used to hitting from the old style, and then people just threw all their traps in the one corner because everybody was just always going. The town hall's at 6, you go at 12, and you just go opposite,
Mm.
far side. So everybody was just throwing down all their spring traps, all their bombs in that one corner, and you could FC right away. And I was watching, just like throw them all down and watch to see how many throwers got thrown off the map with a spring trap, and
Wow.
counted like, okay, I could get rid of 6 throwers if nobody, tries to put in any other troops before them.
I did switch my thing over to light beam to help with the throwers just
Mm,
because you can really count on the corners of the bomb tower or the bomb
hmm
hive.
Yeah, if you hit it in the right direction.
And like the throwers in the one particular base, especially, like they'd be walking around the corner. And so they just keep getting picked off a little bit more, so I'm getting more and more hits off of the cycle defense, but
Nice.
it'll be interesting where that stuff kind of ends up in the next. We still have, a bunch of time left on the,
Yeah, I think there's still 50 something days on that thing, isn't there?
yeah,
I was looking the other day because I'm like, well, do I still keep trying to max them out? Because I want those little blue ore medals. What are they called for the
shiny,
fancy shop?
shiny
Sparky stones.
Sparky
Sparky
stones. Oh,
stones.
Sparky stones.
So I was like, well, I guess I got to keep upgrading because I want to get as much of those I can, and you can't get those back, right?
Right.
Like those are going to disappear after we have 43 days and 10 hours left for the next. Um, So
Yeah.
I've just got a builder constantly on those where I'm like, I can always down the road get my supercharges on my collectors done
Yeah.
because I feel like my collectors aren't doing anything anyway. So I have one builder on them, just slowly upgrading one at a time, and then when they're all upgraded, I'll start doing my supercharges on 'em. But right now, I'm just doing traps, one of them on the cycle defense, and then one of them on the collectors.
I'm on my last cycle defense. I think I have one more
For
level
all
on.
three?
Yep.
Wow. Did you have like multiple builders on them?
Yeah, I had 2. Well, I had 3 on them
Okay, at
until
first.
yeah, until my one got done. And then or I
Okay.
think at first I started out with 1 because there was the update.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that maybe I was wrong and the light beam
The
isn't gonna be the end all be all of
marshmallow pusher.
yeah. So I was like, "Oh god, I gotta do the, bomb tower." But
The
then
bomb hive.
with that ore stuff or with the rewards for that extra stuff, I was like, "Well, I want that anyways." But here we are, with the bases for CWL, I did the light beam, and this didn't happen with the first cycle defenses where in this base pack, they were all bomb hives,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yep. I
And
think because the the throwers and the healers can be kind of beat up by it
well, this
if
was
you come at the
before the
wrong spot.
healer.
It was
This was
before
before,
the healer.
yeah, this was unless they like quick adapted, but I don't think this was before anything was really figured out. This was the CWL basis. So it was right
Okay.
before the balance change, or maybe it was like the day after. But in the last base pack, there were like 2 with light beams. So so what I did was like I thought, well, I'm gonna need to have these for. I wanted to have the options for like 2 CWLs,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
it's a
because
lot of
that's what
builder
all we got
space.
left pretty much, right? 2?
What's that?
That's all we got left is, like, 2 CWLs with these cycle defenses.
Yeah, yeah, but and then like this last one, like seeing like oh, there's only the bomb hive one. I don't know if what Supercell would think of that. Like with one becoming just so dominant, maybe there'll be some changes to the
I
other ones coming up. I,
I think that kinda happened with the last ones though, right? Like, the one just became so dominant towards the middle there, and everybody was running just the one by the end.
yeah, it went from like the fire,
The fire everybody was doing the fire spitter, then
the
everybody switched to the other
hook,
one. I can't remember what it was
the
now.
hooker,
Not the hook.
the mortar crusher.
The mortar, yeah, mortar crusher. The
Yeah,
hook was kind of a bust. So I feel like there's always kind of one, which I mean, it's hard to predict what people are going to come up with defensively and then,
yeah,
offensively. So I'm sure there's going to always be, if they keep doing just three, I'm sure there's going to be one that's a bust.
yeah. I wonder if like they will adjust it for play. If we're seeing like so much bomb tower, I wonder if they would buff or nerf the
Just that one,
a
so that's kind
cycle
of more even.
defense. Yeah,
I don't think so
yeah. It's kind of a
because
different
it's such
class.
a short term and people would be mad that they spent, you know, their ore or whatever on or build their time on it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can see it kind of being people getting upset about that if they did.
I've been switching it to the light beam because I do feel like I do get more out of the light beam just
Mm.
because it has that circle. So although I don't get the distance on a few things, but
Mhm.
um, well, this is
When
the
you go attack, are you more afraid of a light beam or are you more afraid of a bomb hive?
light beam.
Really?
Yeah, hands down.
So with my Zap, because I've been using Zap Quake
Yeah,
in throwers, I stopped going after like if I can get the revenge tower, that's great. But I kind of stopped going after it and started specifically targeting the bomb hive.
Really? I wonder, yeah.
Like that's more. And then if I see a marshmallow pusher, I'm like, yeah, I'd zap something else because I'm like, yeah, I'll be all right.
I drive my troops right into the bomb hive.
Do you?
Yeah,
I think,
I'm not
and
as
that's your attack. Like
yeah,
your attack,
yeah,
you've got the Yetis, they're a little more tanky, whereas
yeah,
the throwers aren't as tanky.
yeah,
And I feel like your angles with your attacker are just different.
yeah. But
Like I'm always coming from a corner and then kind of get screwed at the angle eventually to where I have to take that out so it does not taking out my healers and throwers.
and I feel like with the
Where you
light
can,
beam, I can get hit from any angle. I can kinda take advantage of that,
mhm,
the corners, but I'm using the MP kinda thing coming in too, where I can a
yeah,
lot of times saddle it right up.
yeah. I That's the thing that I was talking almost like about Reza, like with the minion puppet. Like I think right now, like if you look at it's kind of like unorthodox style of attack that's just different.
Yeah,
It's kind of more successful because nobody's trapping it, nobody's baiting, it like goes against the grain of what everybody else is running.
yeah. I I would not if I saw a meta, I was lucky with this meta that my army kinda just especially right at first, was perfect to take out the anti-thrower bases because everybody had their
Mhm.
expos on ground and my minion prince is taking out 30%, 40% of a
Yeah.
base. I love it.
Have you tried the pony horse with your
I was just gonna ask you that. I played with it a little bit, tiny bits.
so I that's why I asked you for that army the one day because I was like, I'm gonna try it with your army. I was having a hard time because I don't remember if you remember this, but it's been a couple years now. On the pod, I'd talked about a guy called Leo's Lemonade,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
where it was the quad hero charge. Like he
That
came up
book
with that
or
a
that
long time ago.
thing you got or you sent me that guide.
It was like a full guide breakdown. Like, and this
Yeah.
was a couple town halls ago. So the game has definitely changed since then. But it was like that. I think with this new equipment, you could almost come up with something like that again, to where you can try to really go after the town hall. So like
Yeah.
with the gauntlet and the stick horse, and if you've got the jellyfish, if there is a defense right by the town hall, he's going to take it out. If there's not a defense by the town hall, you can't just send him in for that. Um, I've noticed just playing around with it because I haven't fully stuck with it yet. Like I've been trying it and then I get discouraged, so then I go away from it. But like I've noticed it's better going into like rage towers than it is poison towers because the poison tower just slows them down so much.
Yeah.
So if you can go in for like just a town hall kind of area or, a lot of condensed stuff, if you have that gauntlet on, then it works out pretty well.
I I think I ran it with a gauntlet a couple times, and then I was playing with it today or last night with, I kept the spiky no, did I kept the snake bracelet on him
Mm.
because I was
I've
watching
seen spiky ball people do it, but I haven't seen the snake bracelet.
well, I think was it Shock? I can't remember. I was watching TikTok and, YouTube and, streamers too, um, but they were talking about how when oh, this was a TikTok, about when it was first introduced, I didn't realize people were using this snake bracelet more for funneling, or this is kinda how he said it. And so I thought, well, if you did a super wide funnel or like on your base, like these isolated town halls, if you could just funnel away from it, you could send that king right at it. if it was
Yeah.
isolated, um, or
Saving the king almost towards the end kind of thing.
yeah,
Like a second RC is what a lot of people are saying.
yeah, like send or like with my attack, if I do Warden on one side, Mini Prince on the other side, he might be perfect to just send right in the center in a little bit. Or even I thought him and the Minion Prince together on a town hall, um, with the revive, and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's going to be really powerful. I think people are gonna. I think it might bring back the center town hall again, probably.
Yeah. Because then you're kind of protecting it. But even at the center, like if you save him till the end and there's one defense in there with him, like and you send him in. Well, I guess if you don't have the jellyfish, if you just have something else,
Well,
he's gonna target the closest thing. And
yeah,
if you
he'd just
save it,
walk around like the king.
yeah,
So, and then his first 28 seconds,
I think
he
it's
can
up to
jump over the
30.
wall.
Yeah.
So it's like if I could just create a perfect funnel to come in or take my one side of an attack and like just leave him to do some work. That could
Hmm.
work too. I don't know. Uh, they were kind of saying something that he might be a special use. That might be a special use case, but I think anytime they say like when I see this one, I just thought like instantly people they're going to overlook it at first and then everybody's going to use it
Yeah.
because you'll be able to get so much at the beginning.
I think it's funny because there's like two different styles of play and two different types of players. So there's everybody that has enough ore and is going to pay money and like or has been warring constantly and saved up, only used it on the certain equipment that can max it really quick. And then there's the other players that take a while to max it. So by the time they max it won't be till the end of this month or maybe into next month and then you might start seeing it a lot more. Where right now it's like not
Yeah.
every has it, not everybody is using it,
And it's
not
maybe
every
not OP.
yeah.
So
So
everybody's not saying,
we
hey,
can't really get a judgment just yet because we're only 10 days into seeing it or whatever.
those are the creeper ones that like come up to be really powerful down the road, I think.
Like Snake Bracelet, when that thing came out,
Yeah.
it was a laughing stock. Nobody wanted it. And like, what this is the snakes just get, but then the snakes got a little bit buffed. Everybody started using the king around the outside instead of going to the inside. Because before that, everybody had quake boots
Yep.
and send it inside so you could open everything up. Well, then everybody started using this king around the outside, and they realized, well, the king around the outside with either the queen or the RC, those snakes are just little tanks.
And this might actually put it in the realm of switch up your king equipment more often. Cause
Yeah,
I hadn't really thought about it for a long time. And like now you could really see a good trade off. Like even with the spiky boots, I was like, yeah, I guess if I could get in there, do I really, I might use the king completely different where I don't, it just might not be worth it as much. If
yeah,
I'm going to if I can get through things really fast without walls and I don't need the reach or something, or um, maybe the vamp stash comes back and it does some work, like that might actually be really good on a town hall hit. And that's the thing about him because he wouldn't go to a defense if the town hall was on a corner. And because it's not so maybe also that might depend too on the like what town hall level you are. Like it might be better for lower town halls too, or better for a TH18.
yeah. I switched. So in our little double trouble event today, like for the war, I switched equipment to the pony equipment and the gauntlet just to make sure that I got the town hall because I wanted to go around everything with my main army but then I didn't want a 1-star because it's, a tournament. So I was like, I'm gonna switch to the gauntlet. I put the jelly on him and the stick horse, and I just ran right into the town hall to make sure I got that 2-star.
Wow.
Where normally I wouldn't because I'm, in Legends I haven't been running it, but just for that specific reason, I'm like, oh, well, this is
Yeah.
that town hall is easily exposed. It's only got 2 defenses, close by. I can get rid of the uh, long shot, the revenge tower, and the town hall, all with the gauntlet.
Nice. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll switch. Maybe maybe there's a better way to be using my king. Do
I
you
think
max
you
yours
should
out?
try that. I think you should try that idea that you were just talking about with
Like right on
king, the king and the RC, or not the RC, because you
the
use not
minion
the RC,
prince.
the minion prince.
Yeah.
Because I think that is like a lot of people are having success with running the king and then the RC right behind him, and just kind of doing like a she's following real close. The only problem I see is your minion prince being air instead of ground just gets hit by all the air targeting stuff, which I guess is only
Oh,
one
really?
defense. The
Like,
air defense. That's the only thing that would be targeting that instead of your king. Everything else would be hitting your king.
and then I could maybe be a little bit more careful with the. Are they putting the healers on the king or just letting him go?
They just let him go
Okay. Yeah, because then you could use some totems,
because
kind
he's
of
so tanky.
creative,
Yeah,
and
use some totems,
I'm
maybe a
using
Scotty spell,
revives, so it's like,
and you have your
yeah,
revives. Yeah.
I'm just doing that. I tried a 3-star approach and got a 1-star in Legends. I'm like, I'm going back to my sure 2-star, but I'm getting better at that strategy. But the bases are catching up, like the anti-thrower ones now.
Hmm.
Kind of a couple of the ones you had, that rough bases. Oh, the corner
Yeah.
with all the heroes. Damn.
That's kind of set up anti of what you're trying to do because you're going right into that, and there's all 4 heroes there.
But I could get all 4 of them with 2 totems, a freeze, 2 freezes,
Yeah.
and if I can place them right, I guess on that corner and do this stuff, I'll hit bases like that and revive my minion prince as many times as I need to take them all out.
Hmm.
And then he's right there for the town hall when I need him.
Have you explored a little bit with something other than the equipment that you have on the minion prince?
Yeah, I ran every combo over and
You ran
over and over. And
because I just saw a video the other day of the ranking of the equipments, and they were saying that the Dark Crown isn't that great, and I'm because I know with your meteor staff like that plays out because you keep reviving, and eventually that meteor staff just keeps going and going and going. But I
yeah,
wonder if like maybe the something else would be better than your Dark Crown.
I think it would if I wasn't reviving.
But since
Yeah,
that boosted
because like
when your allies are defeated, then you
yeah,
start with. So at first it's not useful, but down the road it pays off.
yeah, like at first I will maybe revive him once early on or twice, depending they if he could take out something that is deeply impacting my troops. And then I'll wait as long as I can. If he's like isolated and I go, he's not gonna provide any help when I revive him, but he's gonna take a lot of the rest of the base. I'll just hold it because the more that the army takes, then he's stronger. And so when he pops up, then especially like at the end, he can power through like the heroes and stuff. But I won't get nearly as much as out of reviving him or out of like reviving a queen. Like I can count on him of at the end, especially taking out a huge chunk of the base. And it seems like every time I like revive a queen, it's right where she died, and I can uh, maybe take out that defense. But 50% of the time, maybe I lose her. But
Yeah.
wherever he ends up, wherever he comes back, he's going to be stronger too, if the rest of the things keep going. And then if they've taken the base around him, and let's say it's a defensive, then he's just sitting there hitting the trash buildings while he's hitting a defense somewhere else in the base.
Yeah. No,
So,
I mean, it's working for you. I
right.
tried it out. I couldn't figure it out. I got frustrated. I think I was reviving the wrong thing too soon,
Yeah, it's
you
kind of
know.
like just driving, using the revives to drive
Hmm.
and stuff. And that's kind of the part I like about it, is that I'm reacting at different, like I'm kind of doing these long range calculations. Like the one I hit yesterday, he ended, and sometimes I'll bring him back earlier, and I'm just like, oh, just wait. Cause if it's going to be weird on timing, but if I can get to this, let my army get to this point, and it's like 30 seconds later, 40 seconds later, then I revive him and stuff, and just kind of fun. I don't know what I'll do without, if I switch out of those revives.
I almost was thinking you should take more.
Yeah, it, I I would if I could. I would if I could. I almost want to play with like more totems and stuff, but
Yeah.
I just kind of use those to just. So when I send my minion prince in the very beginning, he's a throwaway, like just like the minion prince or like the RCs. Like I know he's gonna die. Where am I? What do I want to take out, and where do I want him to land when he dies? And then I'm like, play it out. Then okay, I'll play the next part of it. But hmm, you can tell my throat's a little bit rough still.
Been a
After
while since you've done a podcast.
Yeah, that really sucked. It was just like that. It wasn't for lack of trying. There was other people that got sick when we were gonna do it, and I'm
I
like, so excited to be back though doing it. It was like, yeah, ready.
that year.
Yeah. Well, I always forget how really crazy December is for me, and not December, January is for me. That's how crazy it is. And he just like, it just makes the scheduling of things sometimes really tough. But I'm back and ready to get going. Worlds will be probably kicking off. We'll probably be hearing something about that pretty soon, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think it was usually late February.
It would be nice to rework the system a little. I hope we get a little bit of a rework.
I think with the modifier, I think they'll run Wars on Legends mode
That'd be
uh
awesome.
instead of regular mode.
I just I wish we could do it in clan
Oh
while we're
yeah,
doing other
instead of
things.
hop to a clan.
Yeah, hop to another clan. I wish that, and I think if you anchored it in that, sometimes like our team needs to be able to be bigger or something, because for us to be able to meet the schedules and stuff for an entire rest of the year is really tough, or for like the next 6 months or whatever. So
Yeah, because you can only usually do six on your roster, right? And then you,
seven, 6 or 7, and then
yeah,
you can switch out to, but that's it.
but that's it.
And 3 or 4 or 5 months into it, it's like if you so I think we went to 2 different clans last time because we couldn't make it members with this one. Like, they
Hmm.
were in, but we needed one more. Yeah, it was, so I just hope it's a maybe with this, rank system and stuff like that, I can just kinda feel like maybe they're reworking some of those kind of things too, I hope. Um, well, shall we wrap up?
Yeah.
Alright, you got shout outs.
Big shout out to all the guys over in the House of L that went perfect last CWL. That was super cool to even
Even I went perfect.
no, I was gonna say even with us taking second, like we still had an amazing CWL. So Magic Derivative, War Pig's been killing it. He's not only perfect in CWL but perfect in regular war too.
Climbing mountains.
Yeah, all while scaling ice. Bomb Squad, Hecapedia, Ty.
Radioactive Duck for bringing home CWL.
Yeah, yeah. He came in clutch right there at the end,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Uh, Charlie,
Um,
even though he missed a hit. We'll see if he
yeah.
twisted just to give him crap.
Big
You went perfect. So that was really cool. Yeah.
shout out to Osix Pat and Chewy and JJ for running CWL and stuff over in House of L2 and
Yeah.
everything that they're doing. Um, it it's a lot of work, so it's very much appreciated, even though I don't say it as often as I should. Um, uh, Shout out to the other Clash pods. Sorry, keep going with yours. By the way,
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt your shout outs.
our new guys that came over from Pushing Force, and
Yeah, welcome everybody. I'm excited.
it's cool to have a full clan. We were trying to figure out who to kick out.
Yeah,
That's not a bad
it's like,
match.
yeah, and you're going. I'm like, if you're not wearing, you want to move over there for a little bit, and da 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 da, and I just don't want anybody to feel like they're getting booted.
No,
But
I
it's
think
like,
everybody's super active, and it's cool to
yeah,
the chat's full of FCs and people pushing each other, and
yeah, it's cool. And when you get new blood in, and I know
Hmm.
like you're coming in, and but like you just get to see different styles of attacks,
Oh yeah,
and the two events or the event that I had to go to twice with the New Year's Eve event put on by um, Angels, uh, uh, Lady Angels. Uh, I learned so much during those two times uh, that really like pushed me. So like when I see this and stuff, it's like, yeah, we're gonna get all of us will be like dialing it up, and then
yeah,
Worlds will be coming up, and then that's when you really learn some
yeah.
stuff.
Get that.
It'd be
It's different competition.
it'll be a different playing field, I think, this year too. Like we'll be able to hold our own more, I think.
Total different game, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally
with
different
the
game.
town hall defense,
We're all like in the
the
same
risk reward.
range of like maxed or not maxed.
Yeah,
So
the risk reward of 1 stars is a lot higher. I feel like.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited to see what they do with that. Hopefully it's everything that it could be. I guess is the best way to say it. For me, shout out to all you listeners. Sorry about the absence. Really kind of unexpected. Shout out to all the other Clash podcasts out there. Thanks for all the amazing content. Made my drives this month really go smoothly and really interesting. A lot to think about. Clash content creators on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, where I get to see everybody. Thanks for all the great content and Houses of L. And I think that's it for me. So until next time, get a hold of us at clashofclanspodcast@gmail.com or clashofclanspodcast.com. Until next time, keep clashy, everybody.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly